Welcome, 8th grade learners. I am literally so thrilled to have you here today. We've officially made it to week 36. Just take a second to let that sink in. You've worked incredibly hard on your science investigations all year, and now we're at the very final stage. Today's explainer is entirely dedicated to your final science project. But hey, we aren't talking about test tubes or variables today. No way. We're talking about the grand finale, sharing your final project with absolute purpose and, of course, unwavering confidence. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's a quick look at exactly how we'll move from understanding the why to mastering the how of presentations. We'll be hitting 6 key sections today: the power of sharing, your purpose in calling, building your presentation, choosing your format, delivering with confidence, and finally, education with morality.
So, Section 1, the power of sharing. Now, I want you to think of yourself not just as a student right now, but kind of like a hero. You've ventured into the unknown, asked a tough question, and discovered something incredibly valuable. You've literally uncovered a little secret about how the world works. But ask yourself, what good is a discovery if it's kept locked away in your notebook? Right, science matters most when we share it. Your science project isn't truly finished just because the experiment is over or all the data is collected. It's only finished when it's communicated clearly to others. Whether you choose to do that through writing, through striking visuals, or through speaking, your ultimate job is to communicate your findings so the rest of the world can actually benefit from them.
Which brings us to Section 2, your purpose and calling.
We're going to shift our focus for a moment from the mechanics of the project to the deeper, divine motivation behind why we share the work we do. There's a much bigger picture here than just getting a good grade, you know? Let's look at this beautiful scripture from Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. See, God gives every single one of you unique talents, a sharp mind, and the ability to discover new things. He doesn't give you these gifts just to hide them away under a basket. He gives them to you so you can shine a light that inspires others, solves real-world problems, or maybe teaches someone something completely new. Your science story really has the power to do good in this world, and honestly, that makes it incredibly worth sharing.
Moving right along to Section 3, building your presentation.
Now that we know our deeper purpose, the why, we're moving directly into the how. So the crucial point is, here is the exact blueprint you need to build your final project presentation from the ground up. Make sure you include these 4 fundamental pillars in whatever format you choose. Number 1, always start with your research question or problem. What were you trying to figure out? Number 2, provide a summary of your methods. Basically, how did you do it? Number 3, show us your results and make sure to use clear graphs or tables to make the data super easy to read. And number 4, your conclusion. What did it all mean? Literally every single successful presentation uses this exact 4-step checklist to guide the audience through the scientific journey.
Next up, Section 4, choosing your format.
Now, I know that everyone communicates a little differently. Some of you love to talk, some of you love to draw, and some of you love to write. Well, the great news is that there are several different mediums available for this final project, allowing you to really play to your unique strengths. And this brilliantly illustrates how other students have tackled this. First, we have Olivia's poster presentation. She used a classic trifold poster with clearly labeled sections, bright, colorful graphs, and she even attached a physical model. Pretty cool, right? Then there's Jared's video presentation. Jared decided to record a dynamic video explaining his wind turbine model. He showed it actually spinning and used text captions on the screen to explain the science behind the motion. Finally, we have Hannah's lab report. Hannah went the formal route, writing a structured report with an abstract, a list of materials, procedures, data tables, and a conclusion. It was perfectly ready for a professional science fair. So start visualizing which of these options feels like the right fit for your own project.
All right, Section 5, delivering with confidence.
This is where we take all that amazing preparation and actually stand up to present it. I know, this is the part where the stomach butterflies usually kick in and your hands might get a little sweaty. But believe it or not, this should actually be the most empowering part of the whole process. When you deliver your project, just remember these golden rules. Practice speaking clearly. Be fully prepared to explain exactly what you did, what you learned, and most importantly, why it matters to the world. And use simple, strong language. You absolutely don't need to use confusing jargon to sound smart. Trust me, clarity is much more impressive. When your peers or teachers ask questions, answer them respectfully. And above all, remind yourself of this. You did the research. You ran the experiment. That means you are the true expert in the room on this specific topic. So be proud of what you've created and let that pride give you pure confidence.
Okay,
Let's treat this final checklist like your teacher just wrote your homework on the whiteboard. This is your preparation for the big moment. I want you to ask yourself these 5 questions. First, what format will you use? Second, what are the absolute key things your audience needs to understand before they leave the room? Third, what visuals will you create to help explain those points better? Fourth, what is your practice plan? Because let's be real, you can't just wing it. And fifth, how does the message from Matthew 5:16 inspire you to share your work generously with others? Really take some time to reflect on these before you begin building your presentation.
And finally, Section 6, Education with Morality.
As we wrap up this explainer, we really need to transition into the core worldview perspective of the Smart Academy Godly Learner series, which ties all of our academic work to our spiritual walk. This right here is the foundational philosophy of our academy: education without morality will hurt. Let's really think about that for a second. I mean, what's the point of being highly smart, achieving great grades, and being supposedly educated if you just continue to make bad moral choices that end up hurting yourself or hurting the people around you? Knowledge on its own is just a tool, much like a hammer. Without a moral compass, you might swing that hammer wildly and break things. It's morality that ensures we use that tool to build up rather than tear down.
And you know, this is exactly why we intertwine biblical morality with education. As it says in Romans 8:6-7, there is a promise of peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. And I can tell you, this is our experience, as well as the experience of everyone who engages deeply with our content. When you blend your sharp, scientific mind with a strong spiritual compass, you don't just find academic success, you find true peace of mind.
So I want to leave you with this one final, really provocative question. As you prepare your Week 36 final project, I want you to look way beyond the grade. How will your science stories shine a light for others to see? I challenge you to view this upcoming presentation not just as a school requirement, but as a deeply meaningful opportunity to use your God-given talents to inspire the world around you. Get out there, build something amazing, practice hard, and share your light with absolute confidence. I literally can't wait to see what you create.